Welcome back. We are here with part 11 of Eliza's Reign, and today it's going to go down. So, we are actually going to start with Eliza and Yuji's wedding. So, let's head to the cathedral. I'm just going to invite a bunch of people. I haven't been asking the group to come as much because I feel like it makes my game lag more. So, that's why. But anyway, let's go there and have the wedding. Now, I know these two haven't been together for that long, but they're older. They're actually um, only like 3 or 4 weeks away from being elders. So, I think that they're moving a little quicker than they would if they were younger, but they don't have the luxury of time. So they are just moving on quickly. Here's the wedding. They are going to get schmoozing, give each other rings, say their vows, do some flirty stuff. It is also Love Day, so they're getting married on Love Day, which is really sweet and fulfills their holiday obligation, so that's good. So here they go. Still getting married. Okay, there we go. And there is no caterer. They didn't show up. I don't know. The bartender is the only one who ever shows up. But anyway, let's have them sit down for some pictures and then we will have them dance. So they're going to flirt with each other a little bit. Actually, Eliza is very sad, and she's sad because she keeps catching Seth smoking and doing drugs. So that's why she's sad. She's like, really doesn't know what to do about him. And honestly, like, she's been a fine queen, but like, she hasn't really solved any of the dilemmas that have come her way. Like, she just kind of um, either hopes that they resolve themselves or is unable to resolve them. Like in the case of Ashlyn's murder, she couldn't prove that it was murder. So I think that Eliza, has a lot of feelings about that because she has always been such an overachiever and she always did well in school. And, but that doesn't always translate to real world experience. So I think she's having a really hard time because her son being addicted to drugs is just like another thing that she can't seem to solve. So anyway, Leto and Aubrey are friends, and so she came for the wedding, let's say, as if I didn't just drag her out here. Um, and it's Love Day, and I think that things are getting a little flirty. So technically, Aubrey is engaged to Seth, even though those two don't even like each other and they don't even know each other. And Aubrey is not interested in Seth, but they tried to get them engaged because they thought Aubrey might be a good influence on Seth, and obviously that's not true. But in the meantime, since Aubrey has been around more, her and Leto have gotten really close. And so these two are really getting to know each other and they're giving each other a smoochie and they're really falling in love. And then Seth comes out and he sees them and he comes and he yells at his brother and he's like, "What are you doing? Like, she's my fiance." He's also like coming down. So, he's just like freaking out. He's like, "Why, like, you seduced her and she's supposed to be mine." And Leto's like, "You don't even like her. She doesn't even like you. Like, there's literally no reason for you to be together. Um, why do you even care?" And he's like, "I don't care about her. I care that you're my brother stealing my fiance." And, they're starting to argue and, they were best friends, right? So from when they were children. And they've kind of been like not as close lately because of all the stuff that's been going on. But, they were best friends. And, um, he's like, "You betrayed me, blah, blah, blah." And Leto's like, "I didn't betray you because you weren't going to marry her anyway." And anyway, so they're fighting, and now they're not best friends anymore. They lost that, and they're going to keep fighting until they get in like an actual physical fight. So they're continuing to argue with each other. That's just, and for some reason, I just lost all of the things I queued up. But anyway, so they're going to keep yelling at each other and, you know, all that stuff, saying all that stuff. And Aubrey left because she was like, not going to get involved in this. So anyway, they're going to fight each other. And um, I think Leto lost that fight. But anyway, they're going to continue to fight with each other. And then the wedding has just ended. So everyone is kind of walking out the doors as these two are fighting with each other, like the two princes. And Eliza's like, oh my God. She's like, are you serious? And Leto won the second fight. But anyway, she's like, are you serious? In front of everybody? Like, at my wedding? And she's so mad. And she's like, yells at Seth. And she's like, are you high right now? Like, what are you doing? And, it's just horrible. And so they come home because the wedding's over, and um, Seth is addicted, so he needs more. And Winston is joining him. And so um, Eliza is so mad. She's pissed because, like, her wedding has basically been made a spectacle. And she's like, is this really happening? Like, it's the last straw. She's so mad. She doesn't know what to do. Like, she knows that Seth isn't going to change. She's just so mad. And so here she comes, and she's going to keep yelling at Seth. And she's basically telling him, like, I've given you so many chances. I've tried to send you to rehab. We've done all this stuff, and you just keep getting worse and worse, and it keeps getting worse. And she's like, you know what? I can't do this anymore with you. It's not working. And she's like, I'm not going to let this be another thing that I can't solve. And so she says, you're not good enough to be king for this kingdom. And she tells him, she says, you're done. You're not the crown prince anymore. I'm I'm taking you out of the line of succession, and which means that Liliana here is going to be the next queen instead because Leto doesn't have purple eyes, so he can't inherit. So anyway, Seth goes up to Liliana, who has no idea what's just happened, and he starts screaming at her, and she's like, "What the heck?" Like, she's like, "I have no idea what is happening right now," and he's just like flipping out on her. Anyway, so he's like still mad. So he's going to go over to the Kitsune Duchy, and he wants to yell at Aubrey too. So he comes here and he runs into Layla and not Aubrey, and they're twins. So he mistaked her for Aubrey for a second. But then he was like, you know what? Fine. Like, they don't, they want to like go behind my back. I'll go behind her back or what. He's doesn't make any sense. He's high. So anyway, he woohoos with Layla, and then he goes and finds Aubrey and yells at her and says like, "Oh, I slept with your sister." Ha ha. Like, he's just like spiraling out of control here. He is no longer the crown prince, and he's angry. So he's yelling, he's freaking out, and we are going to head back to the castle. He's going to stay there for a little while and loses ish. Um so Reliana is going to Eliza's going to talk to her and basically say like, it's this is it, that you're going to inherit the throne. You are going to be the queen after me. Seth is no longer going to be able to do that because he is has shown that he is not going to be a good leader and a good king. So I think Reliana is like, what? She has hasn't really been preparing herself to lead, but she I think she'd make a better queen than Seth would a king because at least she's like a good person. So I think that that's freaking her out a little bit because she's really going to have to work hard to kind of catch up in. It's not like she's been studying her whole life to become queen. So anyway, she's going to keep working on her knitting aspiration. And so Leto has invited Aubrey out for a date, and they are going to actually have a date. And now that everything's out in the open, they are just going. I mean, not that they were hiding it, they weren't, because everybody knew that her and Seth weren't really a thing. But anyway, they are going to come have dinner together, and they're going to flirt and, enjoy each other's company, but also they're going to chat about what happened. So Aubrey is going to tell Leto about how Seth went over her house and blah, blah, blah. And she's going to tell him, her sister is pregnant. Her sister's pregnant with Seth's baby. They didn't use protection. So um, Leto's just like, wow, that's like even more, you know, it's even more crazy than it was. And so he kind of says, like, you know what, maybe it's better for Seth to go be a duke than it is for him to be the king. And she's like, you're probably right. So anyway, they're being really flirty with each other, and they are really in love, and they're going to eat their food. And they're basically just like, let's leave that craziness away from us. We are going to, be together. And so he proposes to her, and they haven't really been together that long, but they were really close friends for a while. And I think that they just know that it's like, it's just meant to be. They're both like the same type of person, they're very compatible. And they were just enjoying themselves in the dumpster. Anyway, so that's what's going on there. They are now engaged, and neither of them are going to inherit a title. So I think that they're hoping that maybe Eliza will assign one to them, because the kingdom has been expanding even more. Well, we are going to have earldoms, and the next generation 3 is going to start that. So anyway, everyone is just like reeling from everything that's going on, and Leto's going to come home and tell his mom and be like, Aubrey and I are engaged, and Eliza's going to be so happy because she knows Aubrey is a good girl. And anyway, Eliza wants her wedding night, so she's going to woohoo with Yuji, and Reliana needs to sell some stuff on Plopsy, and she's also going to donate some stuff to charity, and then continue to work on her knitting in order to get like good pieces. So I think excellent. She needs excellent pieces. Anyway, so Seth has finally gotten home, and he's still angry. And honestly, I don't even think he cares that Layla is pregnant. I don't think he cares. But Eliza knows now, and she is not happy. And she's like, well, he's going to marry that girl now. Um, so I think Eliza's hoping that maybe, you know, getting older, getting married, having a kid, becoming a duke would maybe mellow Seth out a little bit. She's not ever expecting him to be able to become the king now. She's made that unavailable for him, but she is still hoping that he's going to have a good life and that he's going to, somehow figure it out. So that's what she hopes for. But, what can you do? You can't help someone who doesn't want to help themselves. So Um, I think that's what she's hoping for, but everyone has kind of agreed, like all of the adults have agreed that it is the right choice to pass over Seth. So, actually, so the order of not inheritance, the order of succession right now is was Seth, but now is Reliana, and then after Reliana, I think it's Killian, and then Robin, Killian's daughter. Yeah, that's it right now. Technically, Mikhail is and his children um, are not able to inherit the throne because they were not related to Xander. They were only related to Cordelia. But I think if it came to that, we could make it work. But I don't think it'll come to that. I'm not really worried. Anyway, moving on. We are doing screenshots. So what has happened today is Eliza and Yuji have finally gotten married. Um, Leto and Aubrey have finally, figured out their romance and have decided to get married. And Seth has gotten into one too many fights, and Eliza has told him he no longer can be the king. So Reliana is officially next in line for the throne, and there will be fallout from all of these decisions. I don't think Seth is done just yet. So if you want to see what happens, join me next time, and I'll catch you then.